Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one west. They're one west. They're one west. They're...
All right. And I actually think I need to, first of all, shalom. Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barak Atham. That's to all the Akim out there. And Akim, of course, means our brothers. And then Yahweh Shamar Alathon Bashem Yahshua to all the Akwakian. That's our sisters. Okay. And even to our children, Yalads, and the children out there. We in the Baltimore school, the Hebrew class. This is Hebrew class number 8, and we're moving along. What we're going to start to do in the Hebrew class, of course, we're going to review the alphabet. But each week, we are going to review a topic, and we're going to go by themes. Okay? The themes really will be situational things that you should go through, that you'll go through day to day. This week, we're going to just go through sitting at the table. You know, sitting at the table and eating, what you should ask for, what you're probably going to ask for. We want you to start incorporating the Hebrew in your conversations so that we all can eventually become fluent. But you're only going to be fluent if you actually speak Hebrew. Okay? We became fluent in English and Spanish because we practice it every day. And I want to personally thank Officer Hazahab. I call Officer Hazahab a lot because I get a lot of things wrong. I'm trying to get it right. But my goal, of course, is the goal of Commander Junior Hana, and on down is for us to be Hebrew. So my goal is for us to be conversational. Okay? That is the goal that I have. And Officer Hazahab has been great because, you know, I've said things incorrectly. I'll call him, he'll correct me, and I'm fine with that. And if I ever do say things in a conversational way incorrectly, I will fix it. And I also want to thank Officer Aisha, Officer Aisha in New York. I'm trying to think of his full name. But Officer Aisha in New York has also been a great help. He teaches Hebrew. I call him and text him. I really text him pretty much, and he's always answering me. So the water to both those excellent officers for helping me teach this class. So today the topic is sitting at the table and eating. That's what we'll go through. And we're not going to, we're just going to try to have a little bit conversation in Hebrew and how you can respond to somebody at the table. So each week we'll have a topic or continue. Now, we kind of talked about this last week, last time we had Hebrew class, but we're continuing. We'll be on a theme for a little bit because we want the conversation to be conversational. Then we'll get into other themes. When you're out walking, we talked about how to start a conversation, how's the family, okay? So, and we'll review that from time to time because, we want you to keep it in your mind, okay? So, but first, we're going to do it backwards, and then we usually do the alphabet at the end, but we're going to go through the alphabet all the way to Sa, and then we'll add the 3. So actually, we're going to go through Sa. We have Trooper Ayat from Baltimore here. Let's give him a hand. He's in here today, and he's been doing excellent, and he's actually been a big help. So let's go ahead and rock and roll. Let's go, and we're going to go and say the words of the alphabet, and we're going to go through their meanings, and we'll go back and forth with that. So we're going to have Trooper Ayat go through the alphabet slowly all the way to Sub, and then we're going to go back to what each of those mean. Remember, the Hebrew letters of the alphabet, each letter actually has a meaning to it. Okay, it's not like the English alphabet, where you'll say B or C or D, and there's a meaning. They also have a numeric value as well. So we'll talk about that sometime as well. All right, let's go with the first. Let's go with him. Let's say him. He's going to say him nice and slow. Go ahead. Chubraya.
Ba,
Mm-hmm.
Ga,
Mm-hmm.
Da,
Mm-hmm.
Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa.
Excellent. Let's start right. Excellent. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna say them. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za. Ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa. All right. Now let's go with each of the means that we're actually, I have to mess with people. Shubaya, I want you to say it backwards from sa. Go ahead. Now we're gonna say it backwards. You should know the Hebrew alphabet forwards and backwards. Go ahead. From sa.
Sa,
Uh-huh.
Na,
Uh-huh.
Ma,
Yes.
La,
Huh.
Ka,
Yes.
Ya,
Uh-huh.
Ta,
Mm-hmm.
Ha,
Uh-huh.
Za,
Uh-huh.
Wa,
Uh-huh.
Ha, Da, Ga, Ba, A.
Excellent. Excellent. So let's go over excellent. Let's go over every letter that we have so far. Ah. Okay. Ah is with A-H in the Hebrew. Ah. Now, it's interesting enough that we were speaking Hebrew, and then we have there's X, and then we have the letters that came afterwards, really. Okay, we were speaking, letters came afterwards, and these letters or these characters each mean something. Okay, each of the characters means something. We're going to go over that. So the in Hebrew means what?
Strength.
Means strength. Okay, now I want you to picture yourself as we are Hebrews. Picture yourself of ourselves. When I say ourselves, picture ourselves when we were in the time of Moses, because many of us were more than likely there as well. Just can't remember. But I want us to paint a picture. Our culture created the alphabet of what we could see around us. Pictographs. Okay, we saw things around us, and what we named it, we created the alphabet from it. So comes from, we saw means strength or ox. Well, if the ox is doing my field every day and carrying heavy loads and heavy burdens, an ox is a lot. So I say a lot, and then you get from that, a lot, which is strength. Ox. Okay, so I'm looking at what the ox is doing. So the word has a meaning to it, means strength. Okay, so I'm out in my field and I see my ox doing work. Now I have ba. Okay, after I do the work in the field, okay, what am I doing? What do I do? I go back to my house, or usually many times it was a tent. Okay, especially when we were in the wilderness for 40 years, we dwelt in tents. That's why we keep the Feast of Tabernacles, the Feast of Tents, because we were wandering in the wilderness. We did not have a permanent dwelling. So we tabernacled. And of course, the Most High had his own tent. So the tent, ba, comes from bayah, house or tent, well, the place that I live in. Okay, so I go back into my tent, bayah. Okay, I go to my tent, the place I live in, and that's where ba gets its meaning from. Okay, we go a little further. Actually, before I enter my tent, I have a door. I have to open. Oh, wait, actually, before I get to the door. Okay, let's go to God. I'm sorry, I'm skipping. Okay, God. Well, what else? I'm looking around. I see animals around me. Okay, because I'm in the wilderness, I'm in fields, deserts, that area, especially in the Arabian area. Okay, there's camels out there. So that's where God comes from, Gamal. Okay, camel. All right, and you see the big hump on the camel, lift it up. Okay, so God means camel or lift it up. Because you see the humps, okay, or exalted. All right, you see that. I want to give you a picture. Okay, so that's what God means. So Abba God. Now we go to God. Okay, as I'm going to my tent, Usually there's a door. I have to open the door. Okay, so tent means door or dalaf. Okay, that's the door. All right, I got to open the door. I go into my tent or I go into my house. Okay, so that's where dalaf, door comes from. That's the meaning. Okay, what do we have next? Ha. Okay, a lot of times when I have a dwelling place, it would be a window. Okay, or behold, like arms raised. It's like you're looking out. Okay, you got to think of that's where the word behold comes from. But hana, ha, why? Because you're looking out in the scenery. You got to think, wasn't all these big cities were out, in Israel. You see all these hills and mountains. Okay, you see the Most High's creation. So you have your hands up, beholding what you're seeing. So that's behold, window. I'm looking at something. I'm looking out. Okay, that's where ha comes from, or hana, which means behold. Okay, and then I go further. Now I wander in the wilderness. Okay, for 40 years I'm nomadic before I get into Jerusalem, Israel, or even when I go into Israel. Okay, set up. Okay, when I'm setting up my tent, now I need to put my tent together. Well, that's where wa comes from. Wawa, like hook or tent peg. Okay, I'm hooking things up. Okay, so wa, because wawa, I'm joining something, I'm hooking something together. Okay, that's what wa means. Okay, because I'm building my tent. I had to build my tabernacle tent. Even when they came to the feast, they would make a tent. Okay, or when you were traveling. Okay, now next thing. All right, za comes the word zayan, weapon. Well, as an Israelite soldier, you had a weapon, or you had a tool that you would become a weapon. A lot of times, people couldn't afford an advanced weapon, so a lot of times they use tools for their weapon. Tools to do the farming, tools to fight. Okay, you had your tool. If a wolf came and tried to get your livestock, or a lion, you fight them off with the tool. Zayan, okay, za, and that's where za comes from. Okay, ha. The next one is ha. Okay, well, where does that come from? When I'm building things, you have to build a wall for protection. Okay, or a barrier, because ha means like fence or wall. Okay, so that's where you get ha from. I'm building something to protect my area. So I'm building something. Ha or ka. Right? Next one, ta. Okay, I see a lot of. I'm in the desert. I see a lot of animals like snakes. Okay, so ta comes next to twist around. You see a snake twisting or surrounding. Okay, or slithering. Ta. All right. And these one, all of them have meanings. Okay, next one, ya. Well, my arm and my hand are doing a lot of the work. So that's where you get the word yad from in Hebrew. Okay, yad. And that's where yad comes from. My hand, I'm working in the field. I'm a farmer. I'm in the fields. I'm working. Okay, I'm growing crops. And I'm working with my animals, getting my animals work. So yad, because that's yad, my hand. Okay, next one, ka or kapa, or for my palm. Okay, I see the palm of my hand, what it can do. Okay, picking things up with my palm and my fingers. Okay, so that's where ka comes from. All right, la, that's a staff. That means staff or learn. Okay, well, when you're out there with the livestock, you need your staff. Okay, you need that to bring your animals in or wheel them in. Okay, or to fight something off. That's why David in the Psalm said, "Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." The staff was a tool that was used. Your sheep might have been out, there, you had to hook them back in. Okay, or a lion would come or something would come to you. You have to use your staff. Okay, so la. Okay, that's where staff is. And then you have ma. Ma is mayam, comes from mayam, water. When you see in the streams and stuff where your sheep, you need your livestock to go drink. Mayam, ma. So you see that, okay? You see areas, okay? You see off the coast of the coast where you're working, okay? Or you're seeing where your enemies are coming in, because certain enemies, like you have certain of our enemies were sea people, okay? Maybe like the Philistines. You see them come through up by the waters, okay? You see them, or the Phoenicians. You see them coming up, Mayam, coming up the water, the sea. Okay, nah, it's like offspring or seed sprouting. Okay, like none, like seed. Okay, something that's sprouting out, a seed that's sprouting. Okay, that's where nah comes from. And then there's sa. Sa is like a support, like samat. I have to always think of like a hanger. I got to put a support to put, my clothes. Okay. So these are all what we went through. Ba ga da ha wa za ha ta ya ka la ma na sa. All right, these are all the letters that we went through, and they all have meanings. All right. Now we're gonna go over 3 today. People remember 3s. All right. The next one is I. Okay, I. And I comes from the word ayan, which means I. You can't forget that. I means a real I. All right? I'm looking at things. Ayan. My eyes see things. All right? So that's where it comes from. Ayan. Okay? Next one, pa. Pa is like your mouth. Okay, your mouth. You're speaking. All right? Speaking was very important because, our word was important. The Most High's words were important. What we said was important. Pa. Okay, that's why how people used to say word is bond, but that was really true anciently. Your word meant something; it was binding. Okay, and then the next one. So we got I, pa, and then taza. Taza means side. Okay, your side or on the side. Taza. All right. So we got 3. I, pa, taza. Remember, there's 22 characters in the Hebrew and the last one Kodash. And there's only, tell me, how many vowel sounds are there? Does anybody know? How many vowel sounds are there in the Hebrew?
1.
Close. 2. Pretty much all of them have the ah sound except I. There you go. So there's 2 vowel sounds, but basically 21 of them have the ah sound. 21 of them are ah sound, and then you have the ah. And that's it. We don't have the E and the O and the U. We don't have that. Okay, that's not the last one Kodash when somebody's adding other vowels. That's not how our forefathers spoke. All right. So we have the letters that we went over. Okay, these are the characters. All right, how many do we have that we went over? There's 22. Let's see how many we went over. So we should be coming down to the wire.
18, sir.
All right, so we went through 18. So that means we only got 4 more to go. So next week we'll just hit them all. I usually like to go in 3s, but next week we'll get the last 4. Okay, Shubayat, alphabet again, nice and slow.
Ha, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza.
Excellent. All right. So we went through the characters of the Hebrew alphabet. We know that each of them have a meaning. We'll get the last 4 next week, and then we will also get to the numeric values. Okay, because each week we'll have a theme or we'll be continuing theme. All right. Now, last time we were here, we went over conversations, and I want to get back to that. We want to go over conversations when you're seeing somebody. This week, we will talk about when you're coming and sitting at the table. Now, when you're coming and sitting at the table, usually And a lot of things, these are for stuff that you can teach your children. See, your children hear it early, it will be more natural for them, okay? Especially when they're from the age of 0 to 5. That's when they're going to pick up the most. So if you have any child from 0 to 5, I'm not saying 6 and through 12 or 14, but not. But they're going to really pick it up, and it's going to stick better with them. Teaching them these Hebrew words, because as I told you, I work with children all day, and we're just teaching them how to say stuff in English. You know, because they're like, water, water. No, you don't say that. You said, I would like water, please. And then they'll repeat it. I would like water, please. Well, this would be a good time when your child is saying something at the table or saying something that you teach them in Hebrew. Because believe me, they're going to repeat it. And they're going to make sure you know it. You know, just be careful when you teach, because they're going to say it, oh, it's in Hebrew now. Okay? Trust me, don't feel like it. Yeah. So we want to go over some conversations that you would have with other people or your children when you're at the table. Okay, before you get to the table, though, we went over this last week. Most of the time, can somebody tell me, well, it's only Tribra, but I'll ask Tribraya, when you first see a child, when the child gets into the car, when the child gets home from school, what's the first thing children usually say when they get into the car or get home from school? What do they usually ask for?
They want something to drink.
They want something to drink, or they want something to eat. Mm-hmm. I don't care where you pick them up from. They could have just had a big pizza party at the school and the teacher fed them cupcakes, pizza, chips, and a side salad. It don't matter. They get to you, and they ate all that, and the first thing they're going to say is, I'm hungry. Mm-hmm. I want food.
Calm.
That's the first thing I'll say. So we're going to review that first, and then we'll get right to the table. So usually, if they come into the car, come into the house, they're going to say, they'll say, I want water, okay? Or I want drink, something to drink. So we'll talk about drink later, but let's do water. How would you say, and there's a few ways, we're going to go over a few ways. I don't want to confuse you. This is actually a review. We'll go over some new ways to say your want in Hebrew, but let's go review. How would you say, I want water in Hebrew? Go ahead, Shuraya.
I want water in Hebrew would be awa mayam.
Awa mayam. That's what your child is going to say, or teach them to say that. When they're saying to you, say, well, that's not how you say it. Well, we're like, I'd like you to say it in Hebrew. Awa mayam. I want water. Now, of course, you're going to tell them to say please. So how would they say it in Hebrew saying please? Go ahead.
Awa mayam baba kusha.
Awa mayam baba kusha. Now, I said that a lot of times when they say something so you could practice Hebrew, because they're going to start saying it to you in Hebrew, just to confirm what they say, you speak back saying, you want water? Okay. So to say you want water, just say, Sa'awa mayam. Okay. You want water? Sa'awa mayam.
Sa'awa mayam.
Sa'awa mayam. You want water? Okay. That's a way to just say it back to them. Or you could ask them before. Sa'awa mayam. You want water? Before they even ask. Okay. Okay. So that's just a way to just say it. Sa'awa mayam. You want water? Okay. And of course, when you ask them that, they're going to say, Khan. Yes. So, awa mayam baba kusha. Awa mayam. You want water? Okay. And they'll say, Khan. Or teacher will say, Khan. All right. Or if it's the mother or father, Khan Abba. Khan Amma. Remember, Abba is father. Abba is father. Amma is mother. Khan Abba. Khan Amma. Get them to start speaking it. All right. And then you give it to them. You give them the water. You hand it to them. Then you say, what do you say? And they'll say, Tawada. Okay. Tawada is, that's our way of saying thank you. Tawada. Get them to say these things. Baba Kwasha, remember, is please. Okay? Thank you. Tawada. Get them to say these things. And then when they say Tawada, what would you say? Chibraya, how would you say less, be less, or how would you say you're welcome?
It's escaping.
Okay, no sweat. Ayan dabar.
Ayan
dabar.
Dabar.
Da with a D.
Okay.
Ayan dabar.
Ayan dabar.
Okay, dabar means like speak. Ayan means nothing. So it's like, the black talk, say less, speak nothing.
And that's like, you're welcome, Salaki.
That's our way of saying that's, it doesn't literally mean you're welcome, but you know how we say you're welcome. It's closer to the word de nada. Like de nada means in Spanish, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Right, of nothing, it's nothing. But, black talk, we see something like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it, say less.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it really is called, say less. But, we translate the best translation, you're welcome. Okay? So they say, but why do you say ayundabar? Okay. Now, what if they say, I want water, and then they're going to request food? How would they say that? Shubraya.
Awa lacham.
Awa lacham. Good. I want food. Awa lacham baba kwasha. Okay. And then you say, awa lacham, you want food? Same thing. Okay. And then give them food, and then they say, then ask them, what do you say? And they say, tawada. And you say, ayundabar. All right? Practice those things. Now, me personally, you can say, now you can request, here's another review. You can also say, give me food or give me water. That's more like a command. But to sound a little bit better, let's say you just talk to one of the Akim. Before you say, give me food or give me water, I always like to, we like to say it in a little bit more polite way, because, we always want to be mindful of how we talk to Akim. So I would start before I say, give me something. What do we usually say? Well, you say, hey, do me a favor, or can you do me a favor? So start off like that. So if you're talking to Akim and you like something, start off with, do me a favor. Okay? And it'll be like, yeah, do me a favor. Baba Kusha. Mm-hmm. Okay? So how would you say that? Okay? It will be da ya bakwash.
Da ya bakwash.
Da means do in Hebrew. Da, D-A, da. Ya means me, bakwash. Like, do me a request. I need a request. Do me a favor. Daya bakwash. Okay? Daya bakwash.
Daya bakwash.
Okay? So you'd say, Daya bakwash. I'm like, yeah, Daya bakwash. So he knows that I'm about to ask a request for something. And then I'll say, now I could say, give me water, please. I could say, Nathan. Nathan means give in Hebrew. Okay, but what if I want me in it? How would I say that? Shubraya, how would I say give me?
Yeah.
There we go. So Nathan, yeah. Remember, the possessor goes at the end of the word. Nathan, yeah. Nathanya, mayam, baba kusha. What did I just say? Shubraya. Nathanya, mayam, baba kusha.
Give me water, please.
Give me water, please. Okay? Give me water, please. Nathanya mayam baba kusha. Okay? Give me water, please. Okay? But first, I wouldn't just say, give me, Chupraya, Daya Bakwash. Okay? And now I'm being polite. And so he's like, he'd be more prone to listen, like, Nathanya mayam baba kusha. All right? Or, or let's say we're talking, there's a general around. Because now how would I say give him water? Does anybody know what him is in Hebrew that would go after Nathan? Anybody remember? Yah means me. How would we say give him water? Like let's say it's a general. The general's going to be there. We're at a feast.
So like would it be Nathan Nathan?
There we go. Nathan Wa Baba Kusha. Give him water. Baba Kusha. So the general's there. General look like he's, kind of hot. And I say, Trooper Ayan, Daya Bakwash. And then I say, Alawa Katam. General Katam. So now I'm pointing. And I say, Nathan Wa Mayam Baba Kusha. Give him water. Baba Kusha. Okay, all right, makes sense.
Makes sense.
Okay, all right, and we say Alawak, that's the leader. Alawak, that's the general. That's what we say. Alawak Panya when the general comes. Okay, Panya is like face. Alawak Panya, face the strength. Face the leader. So general, usually in Baltimore, it's General Katham. Sometimes it's General Shawamar. They come through, and so I'll see them, okay, and I'll say, Daya Bakwash, do me a favor. I'll ask off Trooper Ayan. I'm saying I, Trooper I, Salaki. Trooper Ayan. And then I'll say, Alawak Shawamar, General Shawamar. And then I'll say, Natanwa Mayamba Basha. How would I say give him food? Now let's say he's got his drink. How would I say give him food? Go ahead, Shubrayat, whenever you're ready.
Natanwa Lacham.
There we go. Natanwa Lacham. Give him food. Natanwa Lacham. Baba Kusha. Give him food. Please. Usually when at a feast, we like to serve the generals first. Okay? So give him food. Okay? All right, so that's how we would do that. We want them to have the generals to have food, so we'll say, hey, give this general, okay? But how would I say give me food? Go ahead. How would I say give me food?
You would say Nathanya Lacham.
There we go, Nathanya. So Ya means give myself, me, my. Nathanya Lacham Baba Kusha. All right? So that's how we do it. It's a Daya Bakwash. What does Daya Bakwash mean again?
Do me a favor.
Do me a favor. Say these things. Start saying it to officers in the school. Even if they don't know it, speak it, point, and then translate. Because it will just be as easy as how we say, it will start becoming second nature. I was actually speaking to the officer the other day in Hebrew, and the officers looked at me like, you're a little crazy, but I was translating because I want us to really speak it. Speak to each other. And you know who gets me? Young man Darash. That's Officer Alisar's son. I'll be at the class when they talk English. Guess what he's speaking to me in? Hebrew. Keeps me sharp. I'm like, oh man, what did you just say? I know it just went over there in class. And I got to think about it. So then I respond like, okay, this is what he's saying to me. Okay. But we want to keep, that up. Speaking to each other. Okay. Now, let's go to here. Now, let's say the general or I'm speaking, Subrayat's bringing me the water. Okay, he's bringing me the water. Okay, and I don't want the water right then and there. Maybe I'm speaking, I'm doing something. Okay, a lot of times there's a table or something near around. You want to say, hey, put the food or put the water on the table. Put it there. Okay, put it up the table. Usually it's a table. I mean, if there's a chair around, sometimes it's a chair. We'll go over chair. But how would I say, hey, put the water on the table, please? So Trooper Ayat comes back with the water. I'm doing something. General Katham just called me. I got to go there. He's like, oh, here's your food, Slaki, your food. And then how would I say put it on the table? Go ahead. Say it slow so everyone can hear it.
Hadaha Mayam Baha Shalachan.
All right, let's break that down. Put Hada. Okay, put Hada. Put Hada. The water. Okay, we know Mayam is water, but when we want to say the in Hebrew, we just put ha in front of it. Ha is equivalent to the. Hada, ha mayam. Put the water. Hada, ha mayam. So when I say on in Hebrew, in and on in Hebrew is the same word. Ba. Hada, ha mayam. Ba, on the table. The table. Table in Hebrew is shalachan. So if I want to say the table, ha, shalachan. Okay? So put the water on the table. I'd say hada, hamayam, baha, shalachan. Table is shalachan. The table. Ha, shalachan. Water in Hebrew is mayam. The water. Ha, mayam. Put, hada. Okay? On is ba. So let's put it together. Hada hamayam baha shalachan. Put the water on the table. All right. Once again. All right. I'm bringing Shubra Ayat the water he asked for. So actually, you asked me to give you some water. Go ahead.
Baba Kush, no, Natanya Mayam Baba Kusha.
Come. All right. Go get the water. Here's your water. Okay. How would you respond? You can respond through a couple ways. You could say, take it, say, thank you. You can say, put on that. All right. You tell me how you respond. Here's your water.
The water.
The water. Okay. The water. Thank you. Okay. But let's say he doesn't have time to take it. Okay. Make the request again.
Hada ha Mayam Baha
No, wait, actually, let's start from the top. You're gonna say it again. You're gonna request the water again.
Oh, Natanya Mayam.
Come, I'll go get it. Come and give you the water. Here's your water.
The water.
Okay, he takes the water. But let's say you can't take it. What would you say?
I would say Daya Bakwash. Hadaha Mayam Baha Shalachan.
Okay. Oh, I see you see how he mixed it up and said, do me a favor. Did you see what he said? Do me a favor. Put it on the table. Baba Kusha. I like how he mixed it up. That's what you need to start doing, put phrases together. Okay? He's busy, so he'll say, hey, Daya Bakwash, do me a favor. Hada puts Hamayam, the water, Ba on Ha Shalachan, the table. Please, Baba Kusha. I like how he mixed it up. That's how I want you to start doing. Take these phrases, mix it up. Okay? All right. Let's do a quick review of the child. Okay, the child comes and says, I want water. How would you respond just to make sure you know what they said? I'm gonna be the child. Shubra Ayat, Awa Mayam Baba Kusha.
Ta Awa Mayam.
Come. Okay. So Awa Mayam, you want water? Okay. You want food? Lakam. All right. So that's pretty much some review of what you can say when it comes to food. Now let's get to the table. Now you're at the table, okay? Or before you come to the table, okay? All right. Somebody comes in, somebody comes over, okay? Now you're gonna say, hey, let's sit and eat. Okay? How would you say, come to the table? First of all, what's table again? Shubraya?
Shalachan.
Okay, how would you say the table?
Ha Shalachan.
The table, ha shalachan. Okay, so people coming over, hey, let's all come and sit down. Let's come to the table. So to say come in Hebrew is ba'ah.
Ba'ah.
Okay, come. Shu is like ow. Ba'ah ow, ha shalachan. Come to the table. Okay, we're all sitting up here rapping and all that. And usually, when do we come to a table? Usually at a feast. Like Passover, we're all sitting there talking. All of a sudden, Passover start. Hey, come to the table. Ba'ah, al, hasalakan. All right? Come to the table. All right? So we're going to come to the table. Okay? And usually, after you come to the table, people are talking, or there's food over there, say, hey, sit and eat. So sit in Hebrew is just shab, but we're going to make a little phrase. Okay? So sit and eat would be shabah wa akala. Shabah wa akala. Shabah comes from the word yashab.
Salakia. You said
Shabah.
Shabah wa akala.
Yep. Shabah comes from the word yashab. Yashab means to sit or to return to what you were doing. Like when we're at Sabbath service, what do we say when we're standing? Yashab or yashabi. Okay? We're making a phrase here. So sit and eat would be shabah. Okay? Sit. And in Hebrew, when it's connected to the word is wa. Wa akala. Wa akala. Okay? Wa akala.
Shabbat. Wow.
Because eat in Hebrew is a call. So we're saying sit and eat. And is wa that's connected to the word a call. So sit, shaba, la, and akala. Sit and eat. Sit and eat. So, I like to play these little games. I like to play a game. Okay? I'm going to speak Hebrew. Shubrayat speaks Hebrew and English, but he has a friend that speaks only Hebrew. So he'll translate what I'm saying. Okay? I like to do these exercises so that we can get better. Okay? All right? I'm just throwing phrases out. He's got to translate it in Hebrew. We'll see how good is. We know he's pretty good because he picks up really fast. Trooper Ayat is very intelligent. He picks up very fast. Okay. All right. We're all sitting down. Okay. And his friend is trying to understand what's going on. So when he hears somebody say something, his friend will be, asking, what are they saying? And of course, Trooper Ayat will translate in Hebrew what they're saying. Okay, I'm talking to my kids. One of my kids yells out, I want water.
I want my yum.
Oh, see, so he's telling his friend, I want my yum. Okay. All right. Then my child yells out, I want food.
I want lacham.
Okay. All right. So he's telling his friend this, what the people are saying. His friend is really interested. Okay, it's time to eat now. So I tell everybody, hey, come to the table. What would you say in Hebrew to your friend?
Ba'a al ha shalachan.
Ba'a al ha shalachan. Come to the table. Okay? Everybody's at the table, they're still talking. Okay? Now I have to tell everybody, hey, like Salakia. What does Salakia mean? Anybody remember?
Like, excuse me.
Excuse me, or forgive me. Hey, Salakia. Okay? If you want to say quiet, you would say shakwat. Shakwat, quiet. Quiet. Shakwat. Or listen, hear, shema. Okay? Shema. Listen. Everybody's talking. Shema, Akim. Shema. Or shakwat, Akim. Quiet. And then we'll say, sit and eat. What will we say?
Shabbat wa akala.
Shabbat wa akala. Sit and eat. So now his friend knows to sit and eat. Okay, now he's sitting down and eating. All right. Now, a lot of times, we might have some people, it's the feast time. Maybe there's some troopers coming or, some officers coming and serving. Okay. The king will be one of the heathens coming to serve us. All right. So we're being served. And a lot of times when you're serving, you're akim. Well, let's act like we're serving each other. One of the things we say is, when it's food time, we'll say, what do you want? What do you want? So let's talk about that. We're at the table. What do you want? Okay. Or what is your wants? So what in Hebrew, we talked about this, is ma. Like how we said, what is your peace? Ma shalom ka. Remember we said that? What is your peace? Ma shalom ka. Now we're saying ma chasar ka. What is your wants? Or what do you want? Ma chasar ka. Ka at the end means what? You or your. Okay? Remember the ka at the end, because that's what comes at the end. Ma means what? So chasar is like, what do you want or need? What's the need or want?
So like the trend ma kasar comes.
Chasar.
Kasar.
Mm-hmm. Ma means what? M-A-H. Ma. Chasar. C-H-A-A-S-A-R. Chasar. And then the ka is connected at the end. Ma chasar ka. What do you want? Okay? And then you can respond. Now, as we go along, we'll get all the foods that we can say in Hebrew. But at this point, just say what you want in Hebrew, and then you can say the food in English. But practice this. Have your children practice this. So if you want to say my wants, so the answer, you can say my want is whatever. So how would you say my want? Kasarya. My want is whatever's at the table, greens. Although you see, some people will, or maybe it's a sister making the plates. What do you want? Talk to the sisters in Hebrew. Maybe the sisters are going to help them serve the Akim. They don't want to just be the sisters. Maybe some brothers are too. Okay. Kasaria, my one is string beans. Whatever. String beans, chicken. Start saying a list. Kasaria.
Kasaria.
Yup.
That's CHAA.
Yes. Yes. Kasaria.
Kasaria.
And the ya means what again?
My.
Me or my. So we're saying my wants is. This is another way of saying I want. This is just another way, because we don't always have to say I want. We can say I need, I'd like to have. So you want to just, one way to say I want is awa. Okay? Awa. Like awa mayam.
Yeah.
Awa, because it's kind of like I desire this.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But another way is to say khasar.
Khasar.
Kasaria, my one is. Tell them what they want. I want chicken. I want some mashed potatoes. I want some deviled eggs. Go down the list. Do this at the feast. Okay? Kasaria. Just start saying it. You can look at y'all, because you'll just be saying it all the time. Hey, it's like, you want someone you play. Kasaria. Here he goes speaking that Hebrew again. So look at y'all. Kasaria. Okay? My one is. Okay? So that's a chasaria. All right. Now, you might be a little bit more specific. Okay. You might say, my one is drink. You can say that. Chasaria shata. Shata is drink. Shata. Shata. Okay. Chasaria shata. I want drink. Maybe you don't want water. You just say, I want drink. And then be like, here's our drinks here. But that's another way to say, you want something to drink. Shata. Okay, if your child gets in the car, teach them another way. Okay? Tell them, say another way, say, I want something to drink is chasaria shata. I want to drink. Okay.
Chasaria shata.
All right. Okay. So these are different ways that you can say what you want. Okay, when you're at the table, you're eating. Okay. These are different things that you could say, what you want. All right. Now, let's see. Now, you're at the table, you're eating, and somebody wants wine. Okay. How do you say wine in Hebrew? Yayan. Yayan. Okay. Okay. Kasaria. Yayan. One wine. Kasaria yayan. I want wine. Okay, sometimes people just want some, You say, and then you can say, so awa yayan, you want wine? So you can switch it up. Okay, so awa yayan, you want wine? Okay.
Awa yayan.
So awa yayan, just you want to repeat, you want wine?
Awa shata.
Yep. You want drink? Yep. There we go. You mix it up. Okay. This is stuff you can say at the table. Okay. You could say stuff at the table. When you're at the table, you're eating. Okay. Sit and eat. Okay. Come to the table. All right. So let's review. I'm gonna say some things. Okay. I'll say I'll say the stuff mostly in Hebrew. If I don't know the Hebrew word, I'll say it in English. But I want Trooper Ayat to respond in Hebrew. Okay, he's responding in Hebrew, or he's going to translate. I'll either tell you to translate or respond in Hebrew. Okay. All right, we're all around. Akim, Shema. What am I saying? Translate.
You're saying Samai.
Shema.
Listen.
Listen. Akim. Here. Listen. Akim, Shema. Excellent. Akim, Shakwat.
Quiet.
Quiet. Okay. Akim, Shakwat. All right. All right. Now, come to the table. All right. Some people or somebody come to the table. How would I say that?
Ba'al al-ha shalachan.
Ba'al al-ha shalachan. Come, Ba'al al-ha shalachan. Ba'a means come. Al means to. Ha means the. Shalacham, come to the table. Okay? Sit and eat. Sit and eat. You know, especially what I say to the kids. Kids are running around. Ah, hey, Salakia. You be like, sit and eat. Go ahead.
Shabbat wa akala. Akala.
Shabbat comes from the word yashab, which means sit. Tell his children, Shabbat, sit and eat. Wa akala, sit and eat. Sit down and eat. Akala.
Shabbat wa.
Shabbat wa akala.
Shabbat wa akala.
Yep. Wa means and. Wa is connected to the word akal. Akal means eat in Hebrew. Wa akala. Okay? They sit down and eat. Okay? Now, we're at the table. Here we go. Daya Bakwash. Translate.
Jaya Bakwash, do me a favor.
Okay? Nathanya Yayan Babakwasha.
Give me water, please.
Not water. Nathanya Yayan.
Oh, give me wine, please.
Give my hand. Nathanya Yayan Babakwasha. Okay? Here we go. We're still at the table. Kasaria Shata. Kasaria Kasha. Shata.
I want to drink.
I want to drink. Good. I want to drink. Okay? And then you could say, Mashata. What drink? Okay, Ma is what? What drink? Mashata. What drink? Yayan? Wine? Okay? Yayan? Wine? Okay? Start saying these things. Okay? What am I saying? Ma khasarka.
What do you want?
What do you want? That's what I'm. Trooper Ayan is the Hayat socket. Trooper Ayat is excellent. It's just good memories. Okay, what do you want? Machasarka. Somebody's at your house eating. Ask them, what do you want? Machasarka. And then you can say, you know, what do you want? All right. And then you can say, Thawa Yayan, want wine? Thawa Mayam. Want water? Sawa lacham. What am I saying? Sawa lacham.
You want food?
You want food? Ask them that. Okay? Ask them that. Talk to Hebrew folks. That's the only way we're gonna get fluent in conversation. That's the only way we're gonna do it. You know? All right. So these are ways, these are things that you could say at the table. Okay? And then you can say food is good. Lacham salat. Food is good. Food is good. Okay? Now, a lot of times we're at the table, especially kids. You know, a lot of people I think still work with kids all day. Okay, you're at the table. You gave your son or daughter a plate. What is a lot of times? Well, no, not all kids. Some kids can be wasteful, and you got some kids that eat everything up. Let's talk about the kids that eat everything. Well, after they eat one thing, what are they going to say?
They want more.
I want more. There we go. I want more. How would you say I want more? Sometimes you want more. A lot of times, so how would you say I want more? Okay? You could say, so in Hebrew, to add or more is yasak. That's what Joseph means. Yawasak means to add or to join. So you could say, I want yasak, my young. I want more water.
So awa,
yes.
Then to say I want more. What's the
yasak?
Yes. So awa yasak.
Okay. Awa yasak, my young. I want more water. Awa yasak lacham. I want more wine. I want more food or bread. Maybe somebody has good bread. My mother makes bread. That's a lacham tawab. Bread is good. You know? And if I said your bread, lachamka tawab. Your bread is good.
So could you repeat that one more time? I'm sorry. It's yasak.
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 Yasak. Just like Joseph's name. Joseph's name is Yawasak, which means to add. So awa yasak, my young. I want more water. Okay, you're at the table, you had a plate, you're like, it's good. I was like, it's a wow. You know, awa yasak lakam. I want more food. It's kind of like I'm still hungry. Think of it like that. I'm still hungry. Awa yasak lakam. I want more food. Okay. You give your captain general wine. You know, they might say, awa yasak yayan. I want some more wine. Or you ask them. You know, yasak. Yayan, you want more wine? You can look at him. You can look at Akim and say, know those who labor among you can look at Akim, know he enjoying the drink. Okay?
Ta awa yasa.
Yayan?
Yayan. Ta awa yasa. Shata.
Okay, you want more drink? There we go. Say that last second here. Well, say what you just said.
I said
So what?
I'm looking at now. No, what was it? Dang, I got lost in my notes.
Oh, no sweat. Well, he said he was pretty much saying Thawa Yasap.
Thawa Yasap Shasta.
You want more drink? Good.
Or you can say Sha'awa Yasap Lacham.
Okay, Thawa Yasap Lacham. You want more food?
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Say these phrases. These are stuff you can say at the table. These are stuff you can say at the feast. Let's get talking in Hebrew, folks. That's the only way we're gonna do it. Have conversations. I love when I don't understand somebody because I'm gonna keep saying, I want to hear more because I want to learn and I want to be more conversational. Okay. So we went through a few things today. We went through the alphabet. Okay. 3 things that we went through. Let's review real quick as we're closing. Okay. We had our 3 new alphabet words. I, pa, taza. I means ayan. Pa means mouth. Taza means side. Okay. Then we went through how to make a request and answer. Okay. When you ask somebody to do something, you might want to ask, being polite. Daya bakwash, which means what? Shukra ayah.
Do me a favor.
Do me a favor. And then you can say what you want. Nathanya, whatever you want. Nathanya means give me. Nathanya mayam baba kusha, give me water, please. Nathanya lakam baba kusha, give me food, please. Okay? Or you could just say, I want. You teach your children, I want. Awa mayam baba kusha, I want water. Awa lakam baba kusha, I want food. You tell them back. Or you can ask them, awa lakam, you want food? So awa mayam, you want water? You're not asking the child if they want wine. You're asking, maybe a general when you're awa yayan? You want some wine? Okay, ask them that. You're at the table. Tell people to come to the table. Hashalakan. Come to the table. Okay? Sit and eat. Shabbat wa akala. Sit and eat. Okay? Sit down and eat. All right? You want to say these things. Okay? And then, ask them, what do you want? Ma khasar ka. What do you want? The ka then means you. Khasar means a need or what? What's your need? Ma is what? What? Ma khasar ka. And then they'll say, khasarya, whatever. Khasarya greens. Khasarya potatoes. Because khasarya means my want is whatever. Khasarya. Okay? I want more. I want your sock, whatever. I want more, whatever. I want your sock. All right? So we went over these things. These are things you need to say at the table. We'll go over, table manners. All right? We'll review these each week. Okay? And make sure you remember the words we already went over. Sawada, thank you. Salakia, excuse me. Okay? Really means forgive me. Excuse Salakia. Okay? You're welcome. Ayundabar. Don't forget those things. Okay? Ayundabar. How are you doing? Ma salamka. We're going to review those, remember? Ma salamka.
Ma salamka.
Yep. Because it's really mean, what is your peace? Okay? And then when you want to say my peace, you say shalom ya whatever. Shalom ya tawa. My peace is good.
So Ma Shalom Ka is how are you doing?
Yeah, pretty much how you doing? What's up? What's good? All right. You know, and you always think of black talk, the way we talk. Well, what's good? Ma Shalom Ka really means what is your peace? Okay. Or you could say, you could ask about maybe somebody's father or son, you know, or their mother. You maybe heard they weren't doing so well. You know, if you want to say your father, you're like, hey, you know, Abaka, your father, Abaka, Ma Shalom Wa. How was his peace? Okay. And then you say Shalom Wa, his peace, whatever. La'a Tawa, not good. Okay. La'a negates Tawa. La'a Tawa, it's not good. Okay. Maybe you can just say Abba Tawa, I was good. Okay. Abba's good. Or Tawa. Okay. So you're mixing it up, you know. So you want to just make sure you're saying these things. Okay. How was your peace? My peace. Shalom Ya. Shalom Ya La Tawa. I'm not good right now. Okay. Shalom Ya. My peace. Okay. This is stuff we already went over. Okay. But you want to make sure that you remember your brother, Akka. His brother, your brother, Akka. Ma Shalom Wa. What does this be? Okay. Okay. That's sister, Akwa. I mean, yeah, Akwa. Sister. Your sister, Akwaka. Yep, your sister. Okay? Your mother, Amaka. Ama is mother. That's where we get the word ma from. Okay? So these are things we've been reviewing. Okay? Keep these conversational. Okay? And then, well, I didn't ever go over this, but we should say one last thing before we close. Maybe you're just meeting somebody in the school. Got to know their name, right? So, name in Hebrew is what? Does anybody remember? You know, we say Bahasham. Sham is name. Sham. So you meet a brother like Ma Shamka. What is your name? Ma Shamka. What is your name? Ma what? Sham. That's name. Ka. Your. Remember? Because that's supposed to be Ma Shamka. Talk to each other. Okay? Sometimes if I can figure it out. Don't just give it to them, see if they can figure it out. You ask me what my name is, I'm gonna figure it out. Like, okay, keep it like that. All right. Right. So we did a review. Next week we'll go over. We're going to start doing more reviews. We're trying to do more reviews throughout the week. We'll do some short stuff with the Hebrew, but like I said, let's get conversation with the Hebrew. And with that, I'm going to actually do the announcements. So that for the class, so I'll turn it over and we'll say the announcements. Okay, let's see. Just the security. Okay. All right, security announcements. We are the ISBK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of General Yahan. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves in the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10. Means tenth in Hebrew is pronounced Ba'ishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you, you give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatever amount you like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation. Remind Akim and Akwakim to check on social media such as ISBK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISBK events and materials. Actually, the upcoming Holy Convocation is the Feast of Trumpets, which is September 21st. That is on a Sunday. If a brother, not a sister, slacking. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we're going to do one courtesy salute. Right? men of Israel, embodying Shabbat, Imanu, Barak, Yahweh,
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shabarakatah.
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shabarakatah, Yahweh Matah, class dismissed.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're